In today's video, I want to be a bit transparent. I'm going to discuss why I took the past 8 weeks off from my business.
Drums, please!
So far, I have been in business for about 3 years, and it's been, for the most part, a wonderful ride. My first year, I had a full-time job while starting and building my business, and then for the last 2 years, I've actually been full-time. During these 2 years, I've had periods of burnouts. I've had periods of changing exactly what I do in business to either accommodate my clients or accommodate myself, because I've found in business it's a lot different than corporate, because some things you do at work, you just do it so you get your check. In business, you should do what you enjoy as much as possible and try to minimize or outsource things you don't care to do yourself. I'll give you a prime example. I thoroughly enjoy doing Facebook ads for clients, and I detest doing websites for anyone other than myself. That's a pretty crazy thing, because I've done dozens of websites for clients, but usually it's because it's satisfying a need and I have the skills to do it, and I go ahead and do it, but it's not something I enjoy. Owning and operating my own business has been very rewarding. One of my most rewarding things was the ability to spend most of 2019 overseas in Southeast Asia. It was an opportunity of a lifestyle to actually live in a place that I've never been before, and it was absolutely wonderful. During that journey, I learned a ton about myself and being resourceful and being in a land you've never been before, in a different language, different types of people, different cultures. However, it helped me grow as an individual, and it also helped me figure out more things that I wanted to do in my business. Probably the middle of last year is when I really started discovering I'm doing business, I'm making money, I'm pretty happy with the flexibility and the fact that I have a business and don't have to go to a job that I hate every day. However, I did discover that what I was doing was not really making me happy. It did give me the freedom, it gave me an income, and it also was rewarding, but the actual day-to-day of it really was not what I wanted, and it did not allow me to enjoy living overseas as much as I wanted to, because of several reasons. It's amazing how when I started to lose my passion, I also started losing clients and not doing my best in business a lot of times. I was doing good enough, but I was not giving it my 100 because I just was not passionate about what I was doing. So that is why it's very important to do what you like, what you enjoy, and what you're passionate about in your business. The lack of passion also burned me out, because although I wasn't passionate about it, didn't mean I didn't work hard. It didn't mean that I was not able to perform my duties as a consultant or as a coach. But what it did mean is I frequently got burned out. It seemed like I was burned out every 6 weeks, and I needed to either take a vacation, do something extreme, just wild out for a couple days or even a weekend, just to kind of get myself back in order, because every few weeks I just became completely burned out. I knew I was getting burned out when I felt overwhelmed and I was procrastinating on projects. I became bored and things became repetitive, and my business just felt like a job. It was like, well, I gotta get up, I gotta make the donuts. It wasn't anything, fun or passionate. So that's why I say it's very important to have fun in your business. I'm not saying it's like a vacation, but you really have to enjoy it. I want to talk about some of the mistakes I made along the way. I didn't make a ton, but I made enough to say, okay, this is good, but it's not great, and I'm not about good. Greatness is what I strive for, and good is just not good enough. So when things are just good, that's when I need to make a change. Mistake number one was I was working in my business instead of working my business. In other words, I was a solopreneur doing pretty much everything myself. And just because you can do every aspect of your business doesn't mean you should. And that was one of the biggest mistakes I made. I should have been doing only the things that I do great and outsourcing the things that I'm okay or just kind of good at. The second biggest mistake was not reinvesting my income from my business back into my business. I should have reinvested a lot more, especially in the area of advertising and using a time resource called networking. I did not do a ton of that. A lot of business came from referrals, from some of the, I guess, lazy networking that I've done, and almost no advertising. So I kind of attribute it to luck and not being strategic when it came to getting clients. I bid for a couple contracts here. Someone would see a post on LinkedIn or one of my social media pages and then contact me and we get contracts from there. But I never had a specific plan like I do now on how to go after clients. And it's really weird that I've done that because I'm the marketing strategist and I know exactly how to market products and services, and I was not using my own magic on my business. Mistake number three was my work balance life sucked. And it sucked because it was just grind. I don't have time. I have to work. I have to do this. You know, working 12, 14, 16 hours every day because as an entrepreneur, you're supposed to grind. Yes, but unfortunately, what I alluded to before was I lived in a whole nother country, and although I did do some things, I did not take advantage of having the balance that I should have to be able to explore more, to be able to have more fun. Although I met a wonderful network of people, I did do things, but I feel like looking back, I should have done a lot more. Also, without having a work-life balance, it goes back to me being burned out every 6 weeks or so because my life was consumed with work, and when I wasn't working, I was sleeping. I didn't sleep much because I was working all the time. It was to the point I enjoyed it at first, and it was kind of like, well, I can go ahead and work because number one, it distracted me from things so I wouldn't have to deal with them. And number two, I tie the amount of hours I work with the amount of money I make, and that's not necessarily true. When you start, it's very dangerous as an entrepreneur to start associating the amount of time with the amount of money you make, because that actually defeats the purpose. You probably should be a freelancer or a contract worker, and I'm not knocking that, but what I'm saying is, as an entrepreneur, it is something that you do to grow. Eventually you do less. You put other people in place so they can also be successful, which makes you successful.
Y'all got that work to do. That's why I pay everybody so I could do less work. That's the hustle. Did y'all know that's the hustle? You make enough money to pay everybody so you don't do shit.
That's what entrepreneurship is all about. But as a solopreneur, you feel like you have to do everything in order to be successful, and that's just not true. I went through all of that just to get to what I've been doing the last 8 weeks and why I took that time off from my business to kind of recalibrate, to figure out going forward the things I want to do, the things I'm going to outsource, and the things that I'm just going to completely scrap that I don't want to do. I completely wiped clean the slate of old clients that I had. Some of the other contracts ended, and I'm just very thankful that this year I decided to start with a completely clean slate as far as service offerings, what content that I'm producing, and all the other aspects of my business. I kind of went into this incubator and spent a lot of time thinking and alone, and just kind of went silent just to rediscover my passions. What do I get excited about doing? What's fun for me? What are the things that I like about my business? What are the things I don't like about my business? How can I make my products quality? How can I serve my audience? How can I serve my viewers? How can I serve my followers and subscribers? Those are the things that I really thought about instead of just thinking about how much money I'm going to make or what's the most profitable thing I can do. In this 3-year run, I flew by the seat of my pants with my business. There was not a lot of organization. There was not a ton of strategy. I spent probably 95% of my time on execution and just kind of put everything else to the side. This time in business, I want to focus on planning and strategy as well as execution. I'm leaving the consulting and most of the coaching behind, and I'm just going to focus on content creation. And content creation is something, number one, that I enjoy doing. I never thought I'd say that 2 years ago, but I've discovered as I've done it more, I really enjoy content creation. Courses on digital marketing, walkthroughs, blogging, webinars, workshops, and etc. Because the content creation, teaching aspect are the things that I actually enjoy doing. And if you're going to be in business, why don't you do what you enjoy? Expect a lot more content from me. You'll see videos on this channel 2 times a week, sometimes 3, definitely on Tuesdays for Tech Tip Tuesdays, and on Thursdays when I will cover a variety of topics. I will definitely be sharing more of my day-to-day life as an entrepreneur and also providing a lot of content on helping entrepreneurs grow their business. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video, and while you're at it, go ahead and hit that like button, and if you have not already, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a couple days.